The body as intelligence system. The physical body serves as a communication system during awakening. Your body communicates through a sophisticated language of sensation when consciousness begins to expand. That pulsing at the third eye indicates activation of intuitive capacities. The heart center warmth signals emotional opening. Tingling in the hands often precedes the development of energy sensitivity or healing abilities. These sensations represent your body signaling that something profound is unfolding, a language of transformation that becomes increasingly intelligible as awareness expands. This communication suggests our physical forms possess wisdom that activates during spiritual awakening. Your body facilitates transformation by clearing energetic blockages, rewiring neural pathways, and recalibrating your nervous system to accommodate expanded states of consciousness. The physical symptoms serve a purpose in preparing your body to function as a more refined instrument for heightened awareness. Hashtag beyond initial symptoms. What awaits beyond these initial confusing symptoms? The transformative potential extends far beyond temporary physical sensations. As integration occurs, many report enhanced intuition, greater emotional resilience, spontaneous healing capacities, and access to expanded states of consciousness. The initial disruption gives way to a more coherent reorganization at a higher level of functioning, what systems theorists might call order out of chaos. So is your body trying to tell you something spiritual when these unusual sensations arise? The answer, according to centuries of wisdom traditions and countless personal accounts, is yes. These symptoms often mark the beginning of a profound journey documented for centuries. From Kundalini yoga to Taoist inner alchemy, from shamanic initiations to Christian mysticism, these traditions recognized physical symptoms as meaningful signposts on the path of awakening. They understood that transformation manifests tangibly in the body, creating physical expressions that signal energetic evolution. Crossing the threshold, tingling sensations versus medical concerns. These physical expressions of awakening aren't random. They follow specific patterns that help distinguish spiritual phenomena from medical concerns. Take that electric current sensation, moving up your spine in the middle of the night. What's happening when your nervous system lights up like this? The difference between a medical issue requiring attention and a powerful Kundalini activation often comes down to subtle characteristics most doctors never learn to recognize. Tingling sensations along the spine represent perhaps the most commonly reported physical symptom during spiritual awakening processes. This phenomenon appears consistently across accounts from practitioners of various traditions and has a particular significance in understanding the awakening journey. When these sensations first appear, they often catch people by surprise. An unexpected electrical buzz that seems to travel upward from the base of the spine toward the crown of the head, sometimes in rhythmic pulses or waves. From a medical perspective, tingling sensations along the spine might raise concerns about nerve compression, vitamin B12 deficiency, multiple sclerosis, or other neurological conditions. Doctors typically investigate these symptoms through physical examinations, blood tests, and sometimes MRIs or nerve conduction studies. The medical framework views these sensations as potential warning signs of dysfunction, something to be diagnosed and treated. Yet parallel to this medical understanding runs an entirely different interpretation. In yogic traditions, these spine tinglings often indicate the beginning of Kundalini energy awakening, a vital force that normally lies dormant at the base of the spine, starting to rise through the central energy channel, Sushumna. Eastern practitioners have mapped these sensations for centuries, noting how they correspond with the activation of energy centers along what they call nadis in yoga, or meridians in traditional Chinese medicine. Key characteristics that distinguish Kundalini-related tingling from medical causes. Movement patterns. Spiritual tinglings typically flow upward from the base of the spine in waves, rather than remaining static. Context sensitivity. Often intensify during meditation, breath work, or while in nature. Cyclical nature. Come in waves rather than remaining constant. Response to practices. Either intensify or calm depending on energy practices. Associated experiences. Frequently accompany expanded awareness, emotional breakthroughs, or creative insights. Medical tinglings, by contrast, typically remain constant rather than cyclical, or worsen with specific movements or positions. Accompany other symptoms like muscle weakness, numbness, or coordination loss. Persist without variation regardless of context. Interfere with daily functioning. Neurobiologically, these sensations likely reflect actual changes in electrical activity within the central nervous system. Research at the University of Wisconsin-Madison's Center for Healthy Minds has demonstrated measurable differences in neural activity among long-term meditators. Their studies show that during specific meditation techniques, practitioners display increased gamma wave activity, the fastest brainwave pattern associated with heightened perception and awareness. This suggests that the subjective experience of energy moving up the spine corresponds with objective changes in neural firing patterns. The first time I felt that current moving up my back during deep meditation, recounts Maria, a meditation practitioner of 15 years, I immediately recognized it as something profound. My spine straightened automatically, tears flowed spontaneously, and I felt a doorway opening to a reality I hadn't previously accessed. The sensation was electric yet peaceful, alarming yet somehow deeply familiar. In that moment, I understood why ancient texts described this as an awakening rather than just an unusual bodily sensation. The feeling of crossing a threshold becomes palpable for many who experience these spine tinglings. The ordinary world suddenly seems like just one layer of many, with something vast opening beneath the surface of things. Another practitioner shared, "It started as occasional tingles at random times, but within a few months, I could actually feel something like a channel opening up inside my spine. During meditation, the current would become so strong it would straighten my posture automatically. Sometimes it brought tears, sometimes laughter. The sensations became a guidance system, showing me when I was in alignment with something true." For those navigating these experiences, distinguishing between medical and spiritual causes becomes crucial. If tinglings persist without variation, appear alongside concerning neurological symptoms, or significantly interfere with daily functioning, medical evaluation becomes essential. What's particularly interesting is how these sensations participate in a larger symphony of awakening experiences. A meditation teacher with 20 years of guiding students through Kundalini experiences notes, when someone reports spine tinglings alongside spontaneous body movements, waves of emotion, sudden insights, or heightened sensitivity to energy, that constellation strongly suggests a spiritual process rather than a medical condition. These symptoms tend to cluster and evolve together as part of a coherent, if challenging, transformation. This perspective aligns with the hero's journey framework, where crossing the threshold represents the pivotal moment when the protagonist leaves the familiar world behind and enters the special world of adventure. The tingling sensations mark this crossing. They are the body's way of announcing that consciousness is expanding beyond its customary boundaries. Studies of advanced meditators using functional MRI show altered brain connectivity and increased gray matter density in regions associated with body awareness, attention, and emotional regulation. These findings suggest that spiritual practices can literally rewire the brain, potentially explaining why physical sensations like spine tinglings often accompany shifts in consciousness. When approached with discernment and knowledge, these sensations can serve as valuable guideposts. Recognizing their spiritual significance allows them to become meaningful markers on the inner journey.